Hi, I'm Sandy from Lightning Tools, and I'm here again with Brett. Hi, it's been a little while.
Hey Sandy, yeah, it has. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Good, good,
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's starting to become springtime here.
Well, we've had spring. It came and went. I think a lot of people started to think that they went on a big sleep or something and missed the spring and summer and woke up in winter again. So we had some lovely barbecue weather, and then it started snowing the following week. So,
Oh, geez.
but there we go. That's England.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
here it's just dry. Still.
nice, nice. So we're talking about the Lightning Conductor.
Right. Yep.
Um, So do you want to kick it off just for anybody that's just tuning in to as to what the Lightning Conductor is and
Sure.
yeah, why is it important?
Sure. So the Lightning Conductor is one of our tools that has been around for quite a long time, since 2007, I think. And well, I know. And it's been changing a lot ever since then. And some years ago, when as soon as it was possible, we came out with a SharePoint framework version of it, which is a modern web part that works in SharePoint Online and on-prem modern pages. And the object of it is to allow you to aggregate or roll up, different people call that the same thing interchangeably, content from within your SharePoint tenant to display that in a web part on a modern SharePoint page in this case. And what the Lightning Conductor does then is allow you to sort and filter and group and format that data as it comes in from your various sites. So for example, you might have um, maybe invoice documents that are spread throughout a bunch of project sites and you would like to view them all within one web part on a page, you can do that with the Lightning Conductor. And you can sort of do that with the built-in highlighted content web part in SharePoint, but that's very limited as to what you can actually choose to display in the web part and how you sort that and filter it and so on. So that's kind of the advantage that the Lightning Conductor has is it gives you a lot of flexibility in how you want to display that content in exactly the way that you want. And it's all, of course, security trimmed so that the person viewing the web part will only ever see the content that they have SharePoint permission to see. And then we've expanded the Lightning Conductor to not only display things coming from SharePoint, but also, and in two different ways, either using the SharePoint object model or SharePoint search, which then is much quicker, of course. um, but also you can use our Microsoft Graph rollup provider to display content from throughout Microsoft 365. So that could include things like OneDrive files, not only SharePoint document libraries, and also planner tasks, not only SharePoint tasks and tasks from To-Do. So all of those kinds of things are available to you through the Microsoft Graph. And again, in the Lightning Conductor, you can sort and filter and group and format those in whatever way you want. And we have a couple different ways of showing those. So you can show them in a tabular view, or we have had for a while now the ability to have a JSON view is what we call it, but we have some built-in ones like for events. You can see it as a calendar and tasks. You can see, yeah, it's also as a calendar, for example. But we're adding a new view this month. So if you want to, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just before I do as well, it's just to sort of elaborate on some of those
Mm-hmm.
pieces as well, because yeah, we just well, one of our colleagues, Abina, he just wrote a blog post about all the different calendars and tasks and so on that you can aggregate in well in the Lightning Conductor. And yeah, a lot of people think about just the traditional sort of calendar lists or the traditional task lists, but now we've got the new Microsoft lists, which have made their way
Mm-hmm.
into the modern sites as well. So there's different types of lists that we've now got. So there's I'm trying to, event itinerary is one of
Mm-hmm.
them, which actually doesn't have a calendar view by default. It's still in a list view. It's got some nice conditional formatting and all that sort of stuff, but there isn't actually a calendar view for it. You can create one, but yeah, therein lies a problem if you're now starting to see people move away from the calendar list, because you do have to dig in a bit to still be able to create those now. You have to go into the add an app and then switch to the classic experience for in order to be able to select that calendar template. So people are probably more likely to be clicking on that new button on the homepage and choosing the event itinerary instead, and they're going to start using that list. And likewise with tasks, you've got other things that aren't just task lists now. There's the progress checker, I think it's called, or something along those lines. So yeah, lots of different templates that you can create, and of course custom lists as well. And that doesn't matter to the Lightning Conductor. You can still actually aggregate all of that content. As long as you've got start date, end date, and some form of title column, then you can aggregate that information. So yeah, you can still build your reports and display those results inside the calendar, which is fantastic. And then moving away from SharePoint content, of course, you might have Microsoft To Do, as you mentioned, where you've got your personal tasks. You might have Planner, where you've got more project related tasks that involve other people's teams and things like that. There's also group calendars in Microsoft 365, and we've got channel calendars as well inside of Microsoft Teams. So there's all this information going on. And yeah, we can basically go through and aggregate all of that into a calendar view or into separate views inside the same web part instance, whether that is on a SharePoint page or inside of Teams as well, which is really, really powerful. And then you can do the same thing with not just calendars and tasks, but libraries as well. So document libraries, different content types, also OneDrive items and so on, all coming into the Lightning Conductor, which just saves a tremendous amount of time when you're actually going through looking for some of this content, which is fantastic. But yeah, as you mentioned, you can create the different views. So you've got the grid view where you can pick and choose the columns that you want. You can style it using conditional formatting and so on. No code required, unless you want to start building some complex calculated columns, which you can also do to extend those views as well. And then we've got the JSON views, as you mentioned. And we've implemented a new type of view, and that's what this call is all about. And the reason for doing that is there's lots of people that want to create their own custom JSON views, but don't have the skills to be able to create JSON. They don't know where to start with it. So yeah, we saw this as an opportunity where you can use the adaptive cards, and there's a Microsoft Adaptive Card Designer that you can use. So I think it's Microsoft Adaptive Card Designer.io. So you can jump in there. You can see lots of different samples. There's examples that you render images, which you could of course use against a picture library with inside of SharePoint. There's also things like contact cards, which would be great against something like the contact list, or if you use Microsoft Graph to go against people. Yeah, you can map it to that sort of information. And it's really about designing your layout of a little card, and then binding the different fields to the underlying SharePoint columns or whatever your data source is that you're aggregating from. And the really nice thing about the design is nice and easy to use. And then we've done a great job of inside the Lightning Conductor actually generating you like sample data. So if you configure the Lightning Conductor to aggregate from tasks, let's say, it will generate. You can choose whether you want one row as a sample data or multiple rows as sample data, and it'll put those tasks into the code format for you. And you simply copy and paste that sample into the Microsoft Adaptive Card Designer, and then you can use that to design your adaptive card, preview it with that data and so on. And then once that's rendered the code for your view, you can just simply copy paste that back into the Lightning Conductor. So and then you get your adaptive card, which is fantastic. So it's a really, really flexible design experience to build the view that you want. That's not just a column and row format.
Great. And we have a couple built-in ones too to help you get started, like tasks. We have task cards that let you even update the task right from the card too, which is pretty cool. So those will help you see, how the whole thing works. But yeah, you can create your own also, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's part of the quick configuration as well. So if you choose tasks now from the quick configuration of the Lightning Conductor, you're going to aggregate tasks. You could have had that in the grid view or the calendar view, inside the Lightning Conductor, but now there's the adaptive card view as well. So you can just check that box and you'll get an adaptive card view built for you. And likewise with events too. So yeah, some really nice examples there that you can work with.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, I think people really find it useful. I mean, people have been using that adaptive card designer for all kinds of things like creating adaptive cards for Teams and for use with Power Automate, for example. But so some people are already used to using that designer platform, and they can just expand that and use it with the Lightning Conductor.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it on the webinar, but you can actually check out our blog as well. So if you go onto
Put a
lightningtools.com
link.
and click onto blog, yeah, you'll see there's two recently. One is showing the Lightning Conductor and how it can be used for calendars and tasks and so on. But there's also the previous post to that, which is showing off the adaptive card feature. So
Nice.
yeah.
And then we're going to have a webinar also where you'll demo that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be on the 21st, I want to say. Yeah, Thursday the 21st. Excellent. So yeah, very much looking forward to presenting that to everybody.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, just another feature where you don't need to be a developer to get some really good results using the Lightning Conductor on a modern page.
Yeah, or in Teams as well. Yeah,
Right.
so yeah, display that same content inside of Teams. It'd be fantastic. So.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, I guess the next time we meet, we'll be demoing it. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, that'd be good to show you. But also, if you want to register for that webinar, then please feel free to do so. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on it.
Yep. I'll put links in the description.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you,
Talk to
Sandy.
you
Take
next
care.
time.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.